The Boeing 737 MAX took its first flight in 2016. It was an instant hit with airlines, promising greater fuel efficiency and lower operating costs. Orders for the aircraft poured in from around the world. By the end of 2018, Boeing had delivered nearly 400 737 MAX aircraft. Over 5,000 more were on order. The 737 MAX was being flown by airlines on every continent. It seemed that Boeing had another success story on its hands. However, this period of success was about to be shattered. Two tragic accidents would change everything. The 737 MAX was designed to compete with the Airbus A320neo. Both aircraft were single-aisle, twin-engine planes. Boeing and Airbus were locked in a fierce battle for market share. The early success of the 737 MAX was a testament to its design and Boeing's marketing prowess. Airlines and passengers alike trusted the Boeing brand. The Boeing 737 MAX incorporated several technological advancements. One of the most significant changes was the use of new CFM International LEAP-1B engines. These engines were larger and more fuel-efficient than the engines used on previous 737 models. To accommodate the larger engines, Boeing had to make changes to the aircraft's design. The engines were mounted further forward and higher on the wing, altering the aircraft's center of gravity. To compensate, Boeing engineers developed a new flight control system called the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS. The MCAS was designed to prevent the aircraft from stalling by automatically pushing the aircraft's nose down if it sensed the stall was imminent. The system relied on data from two angle of attack sensors. Boeing did not initially inform pilots about the existence of the MCAS, believing it would operate in the background without requiring pilot intervention. On October 29, 2018, Lion Air Flight 610 crashed into the Java Sea shortly after takeoff from Jakarta, Indonesia. All 189 people on board were killed. The aircraft involved was a brand new Boeing 737 MAX 8. Just 5 months later, on March 10, 2019, another 737 MAX crashed. Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 crashed shortly after takeoff from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. All 157 people on board were killed. The similarities between the two accidents were striking. Both aircraft were brand new 737 MAX 8s. Both crashes occurred shortly after takeoff and involved erratic flight paths. The 737 MAX was grounded worldwide. Airlines were forced to cancel thousands of flights, leaving passengers stranded. The grounding of the 737 MAX was the longest in aviation history, lasting nearly 2 years. The crashes and the subsequent grounding had a significant financial impact on Boeing. The company's reputation was tarnished, marking one of the darkest chapters in Boeing's history. In the aftermath of the Lion Air crash, investigators began trying to piece together what went wrong. The flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder were recovered, providing crucial insights. The investigation revealed that the MCAS system had malfunctioned, repeatedly forcing the aircraft's nose down. The pilots struggled to regain control, but were ultimately unable to prevent the crash. On the Lion Air flight, one of the angle of attack sensors had failed, providing erroneous data to the MCAS system. This caused the MCAS to activate repeatedly, pushing the aircraft's nose down even though it was not actually stalling. The investigation into the Ethiopian Airlines crash revealed a similar story. The MCAS system had malfunctioned, forcing the aircraft's nose down. In both crashes, the MCAS system had activated based on faulty data from a single angle of attack sensor. The investigations revealed a fatal flaw in the design of the MCAS system. The system was vulnerable to single-point failures. If one of the angle of attack sensors failed, the MCAS system could activate erroneously, leading to a loss of control. Boeing had not adequately considered the potential consequences of an MCAS malfunction. The company had not provided pilots with sufficient training on how to recognize and respond to an MCAS malfunction. The two 737 MAX crashes triggered multiple investigations. These investigations involved aviation authorities, regulatory bodies, and independent experts. They aimed to determine the causes of the crashes and identify any contributing factors. The investigations uncovered a complex web of technical issues, design flaws, and regulatory oversights. Boeing had prioritized cost-cutting and expedited certification timelines, potentially compromising safety. The FAA faced criticism for delegating too much authority to Boeing during the 737 MAX certification process. Boeing's CEO, Dennis Muilenburg, faced calls to resign and eventually stepped down in December 2019. Boeing acknowledged its mistakes and pledged to make significant changes to its design and engineering processes. Following the grounding of the 737 MAX, Boeing embarked on a comprehensive effort to address the issues identified in the investigations. The company redesigned the MCS system to make it more robust and less susceptible to single-point failures. Boeing also updated the aircraft's flight control software, provided enhanced pilot training, and made other modifications to improve safety. The FAA and other regulatory authorities conducted extensive reviews of Boeing's proposed changes. After nearly 2 years of grounding, the FAA cleared the 737 MAX to return to service in November 2020. Other regulatory authorities followed suit in the subsequent months. The recertification of the 737 MAX marked a significant milestone for Boeing. However, the road to redemption was not easy, and Boeing faced ongoing scrutiny from regulators, lawmakers, and the public. The Boeing 737 MAX crisis holds valuable lessons for the aviation industry. It underscores the paramount importance of safety, transparency, and accountability in aircraft design, manufacturing, and operation. The crisis highlighted the need for robust safety cultures within aviation organizations. It also emphasized the importance of effective communication between manufacturers, regulators, airlines, and pilots. The 737 MAX crashes prompted calls for reforms within the FAA. Critics argued that the agency needed to enhance its oversight of aircraft manufacturers and increase transparency in the certification process. The 737 MAX crisis served as a wake-up call for the aviation industry, forcing stakeholders to re-examine long-held assumptions about safety, regulation, and the certification process. The lessons learned from the 737 MAX crisis have the potential to shape the future of aviation safety. They could lead to improvements in aircraft design, regulatory oversight, and pilot training. The Boeing 737 MAX crashes had a profound impact on public perception of the aircraft and the aviation industry as a whole. The crashes eroded public trust in Boeing and raised concerns about the safety of air travel. The grounding of the 737 MAX and the subsequent investigations received widespread media coverage. This coverage often focused on the technical details of the crashes, the perceived failings of Boeing, and the emotional toll on the families of the victims. Social media platforms played a significant role in disseminating information about the crashes and amplifying concerns about the safety of the aircraft. Despite efforts to rebuild trust, some passengers remain hesitant to fly on the 737 MAX. The 737 MAX crisis underscored the importance of transparency, communication, and empathy in managing such crises. The crisis has already led to changes in aircraft design, regulatory oversight, and pilot training. The lessons learned from the 737 MAX crisis have the potential to make air travel even safer in the years to come. The story of the Boeing 737 MAX is a complex one. It is a story of innovation, ambition, and the pursuit of efficiency in the fiercely competitive aviation industry. It is also a story of tragedy, accountability, and the enduring quest for safer skies. The 737 MAX crashes serve as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of design flaws, regulatory oversights, and lapses in safety culture. They also highlight the importance of learning from mistakes, making necessary changes, and striving for continuous improvement in aviation safety. The 737 MAX crisis tested the resilience of Boeing and the aviation industry. The aircraft has returned to service and continues to face scrutiny from regulators, airlines, and the public. Boeing is working to rebuild its reputation and regain the trust of its customers and the flying public. The pursuit of safer skies is an ongoing journey, requiring constant vigilance, innovation, and a steadfast commitment to safety above all else.